Hello, my name is Sergeant First Class Matthew Foldenauer. That's Mike Alpha Tango Tango Hotel Echo Whiskey dot Foxtrot Oscar Lima Delta Echo November Alpha Uniform Echo Romeo at us.army.mil. You can actually see the spelling of that in the upper right hand corner of the screen. I'm going to be conducting a orientation video on how to use Google Earth and Google Earth Pro in order to conduct briefings for your battle update brief, your op orders, intelligence preparation of the battlefield, or battle tracking. First thing you're going to need is a computer that you have administrative privileges on. Hopefully it's a military computer so you can have network connectivity wherever you're doing your briefing, but if not, you can also use a hotspot, although it might become a little frustrating if the access is not all that great. The next thing you're going to need is Google Earth, and you can get that at earth.google.com, and it'll automatically detect the operating system you're using, and you can download the free or the pro version. The only difference between the free and the pro version is that the pro version supports MGRS natively, whereas you have to use some workarounds to get the free version to do what you want it to do, but that's not terribly hard, and I've done most of that work for you. And also you can export videos and imagery products from Google Earth Pro without all those annoying watermarks, but paying over $1,000 for the convenience of not having watermarks is a little bit much, so free has always worked for me, and that's what we're going to use. It's about a 24 megabyte download. Once you have it installed, you're going to want to go to AKO, to the 25 Sierra Papa 40 folder that your SGL at the Regimental Non-Commissioned Officers Academy at Fort Gordon should have already given you. And inside of that folder, there's going to be a folder called Google Earth Resources created by me. You go inside of that, and the only file inside of it is a KMZ file called RNCOA FTX. This is a file that you can download and import into Google Earth so that all the work is done for you. Download that and save it someplace where you can find it easily, and then install and open Google Earth. Now, I'm not going to do too much with this in this video to explain it to you, other than to say that this big blue ball in the center is the Earth where you live, and that is in the viewer window. There are some camera controls here in the upper right hand corner, some buttons for putting objects into your overlays up here on the top for exporting things, and some little view options. Up here in the upper left hand corner is the search field, which you will almost always use the fly to option rather than finding businesses or directions out there in the woods. And if you search for something, say the United States, which I already have, it's going to show up in the history field. Or say a grid coordinate within your training area, it's going to zoom in and center on it, it's going to show it on the field, and it's going to show up in the history. Let's say we search for one more. It's going to uncheck the one I just searched for. It's going to check the new one, and it's going to put it in the history. So I could actually see both of those if I check them both. Enough about that. We're going to put some things in our places, but you're not going to have to do it. I've already done it for you. So go find that folder, that file that you downloaded off of AKO, this one, rncoaftx.kmz, and open it. And bam, there you have it. Every single thing that is in the op order, every single grid that has been mentioned at any point in time in the op order has been input into this folder. I'm going to briefly orient you to the contents of this folder so that you can see what it does. First of all, let's shut it all off by clicking the box next to RNCOA FTX, and everything goes away. The first 5 things underneath that are camera angles. So if you double click on one of those, it's going to take you to a view where you can see all the enemy significant activity listed in the op order. It'll zoom in on the entire area of operations. The central portion with FOB RNCOA and the water treatment plant and some of the MSRs visible. The southwest that's got some named areas of interest in it. This one shows the entire convoy route. Now each one of these folders below that has an arrow that you can expand, and it has every point that, say, is a friendly location or a FOB or an enemy location or checkpoints, MSRs, objectives, or significant activity over the last 5 months. And every single point has intelligence. So for instance, FOB RNCOA, where you'll be operating, has a border, an outline, an overlay shade, and says units in FOB include RNCOA Brigade Combat Team. Okay, every one of these has got that. So for a enemy significant activity, say in the last 5 months, we had an arms cache discovered. And there it is, and it's got its own little icon. If you don't like my icons, you can change them. I'll show you how to do that in another video. And the intelligence and the date time group. The 7th at 2000 hours is when that was discovered. The next thing that you have is the camera views for those months. So if you want to show somebody everything that happened 5 months ago, click on the M-5, double click on M5 view, and it'll zoom out so that you can see every point that was attacked, anything that appeared within the last 5 months. Let's say you want to add M-4. Click on the M-4 view. It'll zoom out so that you can see all the M-4 stuff. So on and so forth. Take away 3, put up 2. Switch the camera view over to 2. M-1. And if we just want to bring it all up, okay, all enemy SIG axes up here. Okay, crystal clear. Next, we have a folder titled Recon. Now, I use these pinpoints. Basically what I did was I zoomed in on a portion of the map. Let's say I just zoom in here on whatever that is. And as I get close to the ground, I can use the camera. I can tilt it and move it, and I can create a camera angle just by dragging stuff around. Okay, if I get something I like, I could actually drop a pin there and title it, for instance, start point, turn 1, turn 2, turn 3. And then anytime I double click on it, it's going to zoom in on that. So here's my view of all enemy significant activity. And here's the start point for your convoy, which is the formation area behind the company. And that's where you guys form up every morning. Now, if I click on every one of these things, it's going to take me around every turn in the convoy. But what I've created for you is a video. And this video is going to fly you through this whole thing. And actually, while we're viewing it, I can actually activate all the points so that you can see the MSRs out there in the distance. And as it goes through this, it's going to actually stop and call out each attack. Now this is kind of slow, so I'm going to pause this and I'm actually just go to one. Okay. Now here we are approaching 2 prior enemy attacks. This one happened on the 9th at 0935, and if I click on it, the call out comes in and it tells you that it was an IED attacking one of our Humvees with 2 killed and 1 wounded at the intersections of MSR Chevron and MSR Stripes. You can read for yourself. Happened on the 9th at 0935. Okay. This will take you all the way through every event that has happened anywhere along our convoy brief, or rather along our planned convoy route. And you'll be able to view every single thing that happened. Then it will, once it actually gets to the fob, as it approaches the fob, it's going to zoom back out and show you the fob. And then it's going to zoom in on all of the enemy locations that you're going to be interested in. Now, this was useful for our version of the op order, but you may need to tweak it and change it. This just shows you what you can do by dropping place markers and then zooming in on them. In order to create that video, you'd go to this button up here that's to create a route. And then you'd click the record button, and then you'd do things, and everything you do is recorded. And then once you're done doing things, you just click stop, and it'll replay what you just did. So it's going to take me over to that point, and then at the speed in which I manipulated the camera, it's going to replay it. Useful for hands-free briefing. Okay, so there you have it in a nutshell. The capabilities of Google Earth in a briefing scenario in order to allow you to quickly reference and visualize intelligence as it has occurred in your area of operations. If you need any assistance on using this product, on using the overlay that I've created or tweaking it to fit your specific needs, feel free to email me. Again, it's Matthew, M-A-T-T-H-E-W, Foldenauer, Foldenauer, at us.army.mil. If you're viewing this video on a YouTube channel, please do me a favor and give it a thumbs up, like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to this channel, because there will be more videos on how to use this tool with a little bit more detail on how to tweak it and fine-tune it. Hopefully shorter versions in the future. Hope this wasn't too long-winded. This was per a specific request from my SGL, Sergeant First Class Isidro Corona, and Sergeant First Class Watson out there teaching the 25 Sierra Papas. So hope you guys are doing great. Again, email me if there's anything I can do. Thanks a lot.